Hey guys, welcome back to Terrafirmagreg. I don't know if you've noticed, but behind me, things look a bit different. Yes, I rearranged the ore processing once again. But I tell you what, this is so cool. I'm loving this. I'll just have to show you. It's awesome. So I was looking at Reddit and a bunch of posts, and they were talking about using conveyors and robot arms and stuff. And it got me thinking, I don't even need to use belts and funnels. I can just stick these machines right up against the vault here, and then I can use conveyor belts. Like shift right click here to open this. Come on, let's get up there. Okay. So yeah, I've got a conveyor just hooked on here, and I've got an item tag filter here. And this item tag, it's kind of like the filter here, the attribute filter, where you can kind of do a regular expression to sort things. And so what I did here was I said, well, I want all the purified ores and they're not siftables. And by doing that, I was able to get all of the ores that are purified that need to go into the advanced, or that need to go into the thermal centrifuge here, and not get any of the siftable ones, because the siftable ones need to go into the sifter. And I just hooked up the basic sifter here. I didn't make machines for all of the things in MV. And the reason for that is I really want to make it easier on myself to build these machines. And the way we're going to do that is by automating the process of building things. The idea is out here, I'm going to put in the rest of this floor, and I'm going to put in the rest of the ceiling and everything and close it. We're going to have little stations, kind of like what we have here for doing things, for, you know, flattening stuff, cutting stuff, or coil, or for making wires. We'll have machines like this in locations out here. And what we'll have is we'll use the conveyor chains and the frog ports, and we'll get the stuff that we need out of here, automatically take it to the stations, craft it, do whatever needs to be done, and then send back into storage right here. And also the really cool thing about that is these gauges. So you got the factory gauge and you've got the fluid gauge too. The factory gauge, oh, this is just so cool. Basically, you can go to a wall somewhere, and I'm thinking that the wall we'll use is over here, because eventually we're going to take down all of this steam. We're just going to use electricity. And so on a wall here, we'll have gauges, we'll put them on, and we'll be able to automate production of things. Like, for instance, wrought iron plates. You know, we're going to need a lot of those. Steel plates. I'm sure we're going to need a lot of steel plates and aluminum plates. And so we'd have a gauge that we'll put on the wall to make those, and it'll automatically get the materials that you need, send it to the workstation, and then send the finished product back. And we'll be able to tell it how many of each we want in stock. So if we use any of them, it'll automatically make more. So that's the idea. And so that's what we're going to do. And then once we're done, we'll be able to automate making these machines better. I've got these 4 thermal centrifuges here. I thought maybe put 4 sifters on this side, and then down here we could put things like centrifuges, which will be outputting liquids sometimes, so we can get those liquids down underneath in storage and used elsewhere. I did get an electrolyzer and stuck it on the end here. And this is kind of a cool thing. The electrolyzer itself has a filter, and it's a smart item filter. So I have it set to electrolyzer. So it'll only take the things that can be electrolyzed, and I have supply exact, so it'll take the exact number that you need. Problem is, there are things that can be electrolyzed that I don't want electrolyzed. And I really couldn't figure out a good way of getting those sorted and still use the smart filter, because smart filter is just awesome. It knows the exact recipe you need for each one. For instance, emeralds here. I've got 24 emerald dust. But in order to electrolyze that, I have to have 29. So a lot of the times with my other setup, I would have things like 5 emerald dust and like 5 pyrope dust, and it would gum up the electrolyzer, and I wouldn't be able to electrolyze everything. But with this setup, it'll only transfer the exact amount you need. And then this guy I've got set up so that automatically outputs into the vault. So everything that gets done here is sent into the vault. But right here, I've got one of those inventory access ports. So it just basically extends my item vault by 1 block. So I can put a smart chute on. And the smart chute filter here, well, I'll show it to you, but in order to do that, let's stick a redstone torch right here. So it'll turn that off, grab the filter. And so I have every single one of these that I want to be electrolyzed in here. And point of fact, I actually put pyrochlor dust in here because I noticed it wasn't in the list, and yet it would give me some good useful byproducts. So I just grabbed a piece and threw it in here. And so now all of these will be sucked out of the vault and put into the aluminum crate here. And this thing was full when I first set it up. There was a lot of stuff, but I've been doing a lot of prep work, and so it actually processed it all. And now if I go mining, it'll process it again. And so that's just a nice way of kind of getting things that can be processed and then using the smart item filter to supply exactly how much you need. So on to the automating. I did want to lay all of this out, including the roof. I think that other end right there, I'm going to make kind of a ledge, just like I did here, make an indent into the building. But then I thought, oh, it's going to take a long time to do this. I should be working smarter, not harder. And that's where this puppy comes in. I believe I can fly too. It is an electric jetpack. Yes, you heard me, jetpack. So there is one that's not electric over here, and it will run on fuel like diesel. But then I thought, why do that when I can just do, go electric, So I think I want to make this first. And then once we make that, it'll be a lot easier to build this up. And then after we build this up, then we'll be able to do the automation stuff. I did make a bunch of parts that we're going to need. Made a bunch of frog ports and some packagers, made some chain conveyors, and I made a whole bunch of bismuth bronze chain. Just because I have a lot of bismuth and copper and zinc and stuff. And also, it would look kind of cool having a green chain going around in our factory. So I've got a bunch of this stuff. First, we got to make that jetpack and make a nice space for us to build in, and then we'll get to that. Ooh, the advanced electric jetpack. But in order to build that, you have to have the electric jetpack first anyway. So yeah, let's just build that then. Okay, so medium circuit, easy. Medium lithium battery, easy. Anneal copper wires, easy. The power thrusters, I'm not entirely sure. What do you need to do that? Aluminum stuff, copper cables, steel. Oh yeah, this is so easy. We can totally do this. Oh, it's so nice having this advanced extractor, being able to get things like steel into the fluid solidifier to make these. So nice. That was rather quick and not very painful. Okay, we got to use this in the assembler. Okay, a little bit painful. All right, there we go. 2 boosters. Now we just need to put everything together. I don't have wire cutters. Yeah, I still need to make wire cutters to go in my backpack and be used. But there we go. All right, electric jetpack. And we gotta charge it. Well, we could go ahead and stick it in here. Charge it up that way, right? Yeah, totally doable. Maybe I should get a supercharger. In fact, if I'm going to be using this electric jetpack a lot, and I think I will be, then I should make a supercharger. Turbocharger, that's what it's called. Okay, medium voltage turbocharger. How do we make that? That looks really easy. I can make that real quick? Sure. Okay, so here's the race. Can we make this turbocharger before it's halfway charged? There we go. Supercharger, done. Yeah, we did it before it was halfway done. Okay, great. Now we just need to power it. This is 2x cable, so as long as we don't have two things going at the same time, should be fine. Oh, except, these cables are in the way. So we'll take those, take that off. We can plug this in over here because we got plenty of power over here. Oh yeah, definitely. Because what I have is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 of these combustion engines at the top feeding into this annealed copper cable here. And all of that goes into this battery buffer, which then in turn powers this line, so I can put things on top of it or below it. So we're just gonna put that right below. Make sure it is connected. Oh, okay. Now, if I throw that in, there we go. Yeah, that is definitely charging faster than if I just stuck it in a medium voltage machine. That is really cool. I might even just leave this attached here. To be honest, if I'm not using all of these spots, I could just leave this here. It's a little recharge station. All right, there we go, fully charged. Now, how to use this guy? I'm guessing it goes on my back. Okay, good. Hover mode's off right now. Okay, let's go where we have more space. If I do a double jump, that does not turn on. If I push and hold, oh yeah, oh, there we go, yeah. If you push and hold it, you will go up, so I can just go up onto the roof. That makes things so much easier. Okay, but how do you, how do you do the hover though? And will it protect me if I fall? Oh, I think it does. Okay, let's go a little bit farther. I would really take damage. Oh, I did. I took damage. Okay. It did not protect me. Okay, well, that's good to know. Okay, hover mode. Oh, on the right. Engine enabled. Yes. Hover mode. No. And it tells me what my energy level is too. 99.5. Okay. H. Hover mode. How is that hovering? That's not hovering me. That's just making me go slower. I don't know how this hover mode is supposed to work. It's making me go slower, but it's not really making me hover very well. Okay, so after a quick look at Discord, somebody had a great idea. If you have hover mode on, you go up, and of course you slowly come down. But what if you have the spacebar and shift at the same time? You slowly go up. Okay, great. But if you turn off hover mode, then if you push spacebar and shift, you stay in place. So this is how you do it. Just gotta get the right level. There we go. So just holding shift and space at the same time. That is how you hover. Okay, that was a little too far. Don't want that far. Alright guys, welcome back. I've made some improvements to the building. I got all of the roof on, and I got all the floor on. I put up some of these, what are they called? Girders, that's right. I put up some of these girders all around, some columns to look like it's supporting it, and got some more windows in. So this space, I think, is ready for expansion. And I put the girders in this particular configuration for a reason, not just because it looks cool. And you'll see why when we start building the conveyor chains. Conveyor chains, get some chains. Okay, so I'm thinking with these conveyor chains, we can have some stuff going up the middle here. And what we want is we want it to go up the middle, but we also want it to go off to the side. So let's stick one right here. Okay, perfect. So that's right in the middle there. We'll have another one going along this way. Don't know how far these reach, but I think we'll stick the other one. Let's see, sticking the one like right up here. Is that good? I think that's fine. All right, so now you just take the chain and you gotta click on one, right click, and then go to the one that you want to connect to and right click it to connect. Hey, yeah, that's only gonna take 10 chains. And there we go, that is connected. And I'm gonna want this to go along here to this side as well. So we're gonna put one up right there. Okay, that works. It's clipping through the light a little bit. I don't think that's a problem. Let's connect that up. Chain right click, connected. Sweet. Okay, and then we have another one go along this way. We could actually have it go, instead of just going to here, we could have it go farther if we wanted to. We could even have it go into this area. Except for now, I think we'll just keep it. We can always move this later. So I think we'll just keep it right here. Looks fine. All right, there we go. That should be good coverage for all of this area. Normally, the frog ports only have a range of 5 blocks. I might change that to a little bit more. We'll see. I don't think that's a problem. I think I also need more lights in here. I've got the lights up on top, which does add quite a bit of light. I think I need some additional light here towards the bottom. I've rearranged some of the lights downstairs too, because I figure, you know, we really shouldn't have the lights on the ceiling down here, because the main reason I have this basement is for running pipes and for running cables and things. So don't want to clutter up the ceiling down here. So I'm going to put all the lights along the walls and on the floor around the different things that we've got around here. Okay, and I've got these seats here that I made. I want to show you guys something just real quick. I need to make more food, more sandwiches, because I'm all out. And I need more meat. And I've been breeding the sheep and eating them. And I think I'm going to keep doing that because I don't have the musk oxes all breeded up too much yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to find, I think, some rams, because we got loads of rams. Oh, this one is old and cannot reproduce. So we are going to grab our leads, which we only need one, and we're going to lead this one. And the way I figured out is with these seats, since I was doing the storage solution, I found out that if you take an animal, oh, get out of it. If you take an animal and you have it on a lead, you can go to a seat and right click and put the animal there, and I get my lead back. So this is a way that I can select which animals I want to collect their meat. Okay, let's find another pretty old, oh, there, wear and tear 90. That one's pretty old. Put it over there. We have another ram that's pretty old. No, 42. That's like the first I can find. All right, there we go. Oh, 83. There you go. 83. All right, there we go. And it's that easy to pick out some animals from the rest, just using a lead and some seats. So we've got the good coverage here on these chains. The problem is they're not moving. We need to get one of these moving, and I like having them up high, supported by the girders. They're out of the way. Problem is, I don't want to like bring power straight down and have a hole right in my walking path. So my thought is I could, in fact, have a little power generation area, like maybe in the corner over here. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I should also have some stairs going down as well, so I can get down below. In fact, I should probably have a stairwell going down this way. And a stairwell on the other side as well. I can turn these slabs back into lumber. That is a good idea because I've not been using these slabs for anything. And I could turn those into planks and turn those into stairs. Beautiful. I like the way this turned out, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Beautiful. Okay, so there's our stairs going down in this corner. Okay, so this is really cool. I had to make a bunch of sandwiches, right? I've upgraded my kitchen yet again. I had so much mutton that I needed to cook, and I couldn't stick it all in the oven. And I thought, well, if I could stick it in this chest and have it get sucked into the oven, then that would be great, right? So what did I do? Put a conveyor on the side of the oven here, and I made an item tag filter. Said basically, if it is a TFC foods / raw meats category, import, and of course you have to have unfiltered so that it'll allow it to get through. And also in this side you have to have the input from output side disabled unclicked so that it will be able to take stuff from the output side. And now when I stick raw meat in here, it gets sucked up into the oven automatically, and then when it's done cooking, it gets put back into the frame chest. So now I can just dump a bunch of stuff here when I'm making sandwiches, go do other work, come back and put the meat away. I love it. Here we go. So I do not use this setup anymore at all. I don't even need to use the salt maker. So what I can do is I can take... Oh, it's not even running. Well then. I can take this water wheel and use it other places. In fact, I can take all of this. So yeah, I've got all this material I can reuse somewhere else. Because I think I'd rather have a small wheel up in that corner because it's going to take up less space. And right down here, we can put a big wheel. That's not a big deal. There we go. Running again. That is now moving. So if we get some chain and hook this conveyor up to this one. All right, we're moving now, albeit slowly. One thing you can do is with a wrench, you can right click on one of these and catch a ride. Yep, there I am, just hanging out. Woohoo! It's not very fast though. Just shift to dismount. All right, let's speed this thing up. I could speed it up like all the way, super fast, but I don't think I want to do that. I could, but it's just too fast. What if we do 128? Just half of that. I think that's a good speed. Let's test it out. And I like this direction because, you know, I'm from America, so right side of the road. Yeah, there we go. And then you can look the direction you want to go. If I had chains back here, we could actually connect all of those. I might want to do that. I've got the chains, I might as well. There we go. And connect that up. That way any packages going along will take the shortest route. And if I want to get to the other side of my factory, I can just hitch a ride. And there we go. And in the end, if I decide to make it go faster, I can always make it go faster too. It's looking weird just hanging out there. Okay, let's grab this metal casing I've got. Let's encase this. There we go. And then we're going to stick another one right here just to make it look like it's actually supported. Yeah, I like that. Now for our first station, I've been looking at the things that we do the most, and I think the thing that we do the most is bend ingots into plates. So we are going to build one of these first really quick. Oh, if I had a silicon wafer, I could get diodes out of that. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, and look, you can use the annealed copper wire to get even more diodes. I think for now, we're just going to go with the plain old single because that's all I need for now. Well, we should use some liquid polyethylene then. We'll get to that. Okay, that is in the assembler. Okay, so in the assembler here, we've got some gallium arsenide, fine copper wire. Where's my polyethylene? Liquid polyethylene. Boom. Oh, that's wonderful. So even though we're not using the polyethylene for making the super tanks, it is still useful for making circuits. And there it is. Okay, missing circuit. Now I can build the bender. Cha-ching. All right, where do we want the bender to go? I mean, I don't know. Where should I start working? Bender will go here. I'm not exactly sure where it's supposed to go, though. Let's see. With the bender, I don't think we're going to need a repackager. So we can just use a single packager. Actually, two. We're going to need 2 frog ports. And the reasoning for that is one will be taking it off the chain, and the other will put it back when it's finished. So this might be a pretty popular machine for turning things into plates, so I'm probably going to want a storage buffer for those things that are coming in. Probably not so much going out, because once it's done, it'll just go into the storage. So we need a buffer coming in. So let's put that right there. This is going to be our packager, like that. It's going to go into the storage buffer right here. And then from there, go into the machine. And then from the machine, it can go into another packager right here. And that will then send it out. Yeah, that sounds good. So we got a couple of frog ports. This one is going to be taking off of here. So just right click there and then right click on top. Oh, yeah. If I do the hover mode. So yeah, this is useful. Okay, right there. Okay, this is going to be called Bender. I know, very imaginative. Huh. Yeah, we're just going to call it Bender. And this is only going to be receiving packages. There isn't an only receive. That's okay. We're not going to be putting anything into here. So when he receives a package, he will... Why is he facing that way? Can I make him change? I want you to face this way. Oh, he's facing the chain that he's a part of. Oh, okay. Well, we can always change this later. Perfectly fine. Then we're going to take another little frog, and we're going to put you on this chain. And we do not need to give you a name because you are only going to be sending packages out. Okay, now we need a storage, which probably should be an aluminum crate. We've got a ton of aluminum, we can use it, so pop that on there. Then we'll take the advanced bender and stick it right there. So bender, you are going to output automatically into there. Perfect. But that does mean we are going to need a conveyor to go from the aluminum crate into the bender. And I don't have any more conveyors. Do I have any robot arms? I do. I have one. I might as well use it. When I have this up and running, I'll make a bunch more conveyors. But till then, let's put this right here. And we are going to set you to import unfiltered so it can actually take stuff out. And I don't think I care how much. Yeah, you can transfer any amount. Okay, let's say we want to make an aluminum plate in bender. That has to be set to 1. Okay. So we do need to make sure to set this to 1. Because this is going to basically just be making plates. In fact, I might want to change the name from bender to plates. Let's say you want to make a double aluminum plate. In order to do that with the bender, it has to be set to 2. So if we want to have that capability, then we would need another machine, another bender with program circuit 2. So we are going to name you not bender. but plates. We do need to get power into the sky. I mean, we could just actually attach the generator directly to it just to get it set up and test it and make sure it works. So I should have, yeah, I got a bunch of diesel here. All right, so we can at least test to make sure that this is working before we set up any more major power infrastructure underneath. Okay, so that is good for there. The problem is, how are we going to get the items that are finished back into storage? I think this is the spot that we want to do that. And if you go into the create settings here, the server config, I believe it's logistics, scroll down, yeah, package port range. It's normally 5. I did up to 15 already. So maybe the frog will be able to reach all the way over there. Okay, let's grab another frog port. I was about to grab my scaffolding, but I don't have to. I've got my jetpack. It's not the best for building things like in straight lines along here. I didn't use my jetpack very much, but it is good for getting up into high places. Like the windows, I actually used my jetpack quite a bit because I was able to go up, and then as it comes down, it goes slow enough I'm able to place blocks. And as you're going up, if you hold shift, it does raise kind of slow. So I was able to build the windows using that, even though the floors are a lot more difficult. Okay, so now if we want the frog port to be right here, we're going to want it to grab, let's grab from right here. Okay, so then let's go up and down. And this frog port, storage. You are storage, and I want you to receive. So anything addressed to storage will go there. Oh, that is an important thing to note. I need a sign. And we're going to be using a lot of signs, actually. And that is because I want to address everything that comes out of here to go back into storage. And the way you do that is put a sign on there, storage. Now everything that goes through this packager and this frog onto the chain will have an address of storage. And so it'll go on here, it'll go all the way over here, and then it'll be picked up by the storage frog, and it will be dumped into here and back into the system. Okay, perfect. Now if we want to test that, we can grab, I don't know, about a raw iron ingot. Grab it. And we'll grab some aluminum ingots too. Sure. All right, so now if I put the raw iron ingot in there, the bender bends it, and why is that not working? Maybe, yeah, it's auto outputting right there. Okay. Packager is not doing anything. Is that because I have to power it? It might be because I have to power it. I could power those from below like that. It does look a bit strange. They're just kind of floating. But it uses the space. So I can't power it from above. I could power it from the sides, but then if we want to put more machines like next to this one and so on, I wonder if you could just put like a redstone block underneath. I bet a redstone torch underneath would work. A lot of redstone though. Framed redstone block. That uses 8 redstone and a framed cube, as opposed to 9 redstone. Let's try it out, just for fun. I mean, if we have enough redstone, but redstone is so useful for other things though. Oh, well, I've got a lot of redstone though. Okay, maybe we'll just do that. So I need 16 of this and some framed cubes. Let's see what this is all about. Oh, I had a couple of redstone in my inventory already. All right, framed redstone cube. So if I take those off and I put the cube down, yeah, that works. It powers it. And then it's framed, so assuming we can like throw stuff into there, like ash planks. So I don't know why I'd want an ash plank. Brass casings. Yes, there we go. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. Yes. And then back here we could just do some brass scaffolding instead of regular scaffolding. Okay. So yeah, this should work if powered. Once again, we'll just throw some diesel in here. Get it running, charging that side up. Okay, so now if we throw some aluminum in here. Nope. Oh, that is so cool. All right, we got that working. All right, now we just need to get stuff to the plates, Frog. That's a little more difficult because what I want is to have stuff coming out of here and going into there. Problem is when I go into my stock keeper here and I tell you like I want some aluminum ingots, if I go like 5 and in the package address here I say plates and hit send, it'll gather all that stuff, but it'll put it right here, which is nice, but how do we get from here over to there? In fact, I think I have an idea. We could have something right here, like a brass funnel, and it could have a package filter on it. And that package filter would filter on packages that have any kind of address. And if they have any kind of address, let it through onto a conveyor belt, which would take it along here to another frog, who would then take it and spit it onto the chain. So if we look at this package, yeah, it's got an address there of plates. That's where it's trying to go. This is what we need, a package filter. We make that with just some cloth and bismuth bolts. Oh, I just noticed a problem. Okay, so yeah, we're getting these cardboard boxes put into storage, but they're not actually being unpacked. So it means we're going to need a packager to unpackage the packages from the frog port and then put that into storage. Oh, and it threw it over here. Well, we know that works. So just putting the frog there, that's not good enough. If we put a packager right here off to the side, like that, I guess. You're gonna take from here. Your name is storage. Now, will that throw things into there? Or will that package stuff from here? That might actually be bad. Okay, we're gonna make one of these, and it's just cloth, a couple of bismuth bolts. Gonna have a couple of bismuth bolts. Don't think we have any cloth though, no. Now what I did learn is that in the assembler, you can throw in 16 wool yarn and it will actually make cloth really fast. I think it's 20, maybe not. Oh, it's nothing. Okay, so you gotta have nothing. And it'll turn that 16 in cloth in 5 seconds. I mean, come on. 5 seconds, that's super fast. So much faster than the other machine, unfortunately. So let's make that filter real quick. Boom, boom, boom. All right, we'll put the filter right there. And, oh, no, we actually want to tell it something first. Okay, so I want basically anything star. Okay, that way there's at least one character plus anything after that will come out of here. So now if I try and grab, I don't know, some diorite dust, I don't have an address there. I send it. And there we go. It will not be picked up. This is mine. I want to pick it up myself. Okay, good. However, if we are trying to send stuff to somewhere else, like the plates, then it should go along this way. So now on this side, let's get another frog, and you are going to put things on right there. Just like that. You do not need a name because you are only sending packages. And I think I'm probably gonna need another funnel to get into him. So let's grab just a metal funnel, no address. So it should come to me, stops there. Okay. Now if I put funnel right there, okay, things should go into him. So now if I, let's say, let's take these aluminum, put them back in there. I want, let's say 10 aluminum plates. Then I go to the address, put in plates, send, should come in, package sent, frog puts it on there, gets sucked up, puts into the machine, puts back on, gets sucked up back into storage. Okay, looks like that is working the way I want it to work. Problem is, if I have stuff running on here, is it gonna go into there? Well, let's test it out with some annealed copper. If I throw this on, what happens? Okay, so yeah, that is a bad thing. Because when it goes into here, it gets picked up by the packager, and then the frog just spits it on there. And it doesn't have an address. And all packages that don't have addresses that actually go anywhere, they'll just spin. So I gotta grab it off here. There we go. Okay, packager up right there. Is that too tall though? That might be too tall. Grab the frog and try it out. Oh, he's all good. All right. We are going to need to power this. Power it on the back side again. And if we want to, that does look kind of weird just sticking out there. There are these brackets. What if I just stick it like that? There we go. There we go. A little support bracket. Doesn't look as weird. Oh, I do need to give you a name. That's right, because you are storage. I think this is like the 4th or 5th time I've given you this name. But there you go. All right, I think that's it. Yes, beautiful. Okay, now when we go look in the storage, we shouldn't have any packages. Nope. And we have more aluminum plates. Now, the other bit of magic is the gauge, the factory gauge. So let's make one of these and I'll show you how to use it. Oh, alloy plates. You know what that means? We're gonna have to send it to our plates machine, so let's do that separate. I'll send a stack of that to the plates. Oh, we gotta grab our package, get it out of the way. That one goes off to the plates. Sent back. All right, let's make sure we delete that. And now, red alloy plates. We've got plenty. Nice. Okay, there we go. Now, factory gauge is made. With a little to spare. We can throw all that just back in our storage. All right, so let's just connect both of these to the network, and closest stock link is probably up here. This right here. Okay, tune to the network. Here, we place one down like that. Now I should be able to click with item to set. Okay, let's see, what do we want? We want a bunch of plates. Let's say aluminum plates. Okay, this is going to be making aluminum plates. Now it'll show how many we have, 44. So now I can click it to configure. Ah, very nice. Okay, we are going to have to give it, I think we need another gauge. If we put it right here, we grab an aluminum ingot, send to that. Okay, boom. We have 516 aluminum ingots. Now right click on there, add a new connection. Okay, so now if I click and hold for target value, I want to have 1 stack. Okay, enter the address where this recipe is crafted. This is crafted in the plates category. Okay, there we go. Okay, we have 2 stacks, and I've got it set to 1. Okay, what about items? Okay, if I just set it to, let's say 57. Okay, there's only 44, so it's gonna, there we go. It just sent a bunch over. Okay, it's only doing 1 at a time. Okay, let's change this down to 50 or 49. Okay. In fact, if we click this, let's move it over to there so there's a little extra space. Okay, so you can see there's a line, and the aluminum plate, the ingredient is the ingot, and I clicked on it. I gave it plates. This is the target where it will be made from this ingredient into this plate. Inputs are sent to promises held until outputs arrive. This prevents oversending. Scroll to change the amount. Here we go. So if I say I want 16 at a time, and then I set this to 64, let's say. Okay, did that send 16? Yep, I think it did. Oh yeah, wait, it would definitely have way more than we know. It could. Oh, here we go. And the amount of output returning. I should have scrolled this up to 16 as well. There we go. So now I'm sending 16. I'm expecting 16 back. It won't send so many next time it does it. So steel plates here. We've got 12. Steel ingots here. We've got 35. Let's add a connection. Okay, right click. Done. Okay, so there's 35. There's 12 here. I want to have 32. So let's right click it, say we're going to send 8 at a time. And that will produce 8 plates. And this is at plates. Okay, no active amount of sets. Now if I set it to 32, there we go. It's blue, which means it's processing. That should be 8. And then there should be another 8. And then another 8, because that'll get us up to past 32. So you see the yellow, that means you have some out and processing. And there we go, 36. Done. All right, cool. Yeah, that's how that works. That is really cool. Well, guys, I think we're going to call that an episode. We were able to get some automation going with the frog ports and chains, these wonderful gauges behind me. Hope you guys all enjoyed, and we'll catch you later.